All right, we're joined with Tristan Hamm, who's coming up sparring Colby Covington and just getting an update on his boxing. Tristan, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Like, obviously, you sparred Colby on his Twitch channel yesterday. Before we kind of get into it, like, how did that all get set up? Like, how'd you get to know Colby and set that whole spar up?
Well, politically, I've been knowing Kobe for a while. I mean, I've seen his stuff with Donald Trump, and I'm pretty close with the Trump administration. So, um, I had to meet him in one way or another. And everyone keeps sending me his sparring with Bryce Hall and with Jarvis, and no one's been able to even touch him. And he's just been clowning everybody around. And it's like, well, let's go put myself in there and see how I do against him. And I think the footage speaks for itself. I think I've exposed some influencers in the space. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing seeing these influencers go against Kobe and he just toys around with them, and it's like what the hell's going on? Are these guys really that bad? And I think we exposed a lot of influencers in that sparring match. We only did 2 rounds.
Oh, what were your expectations going into it?
Well, my expectation was that we were going to both have to keep it really light, and that there was going to be serious level separation. You know, I've been working with a lot of UFC champions, or not champions, but a lot of UFC fighters that are, you know, proteges in their time, and some guys that are building up right now, such as Philip Hawes. I've worked with. He helped me with uh, the Le'Veon Bell fight. I've worked with a lot of guys, and it's I just didn't know what to expect with a champion.
Mhm.
And Kobe is a champion. I mean, he's an interim champion. But he's still active. He's in camp right now. He's sharp. Yeah, he's a little older. He's 37, but you can't take that away from him. And you can't take away from him the fact that he toyed around with these influencers. That he made them look like a joke.
Mhm.
So didn't really know what to expect in there, but I did know that, the guys that he was working with, I mean, even Bryce Hall. I mean, Bryce Hall is like walking around 190. So I'm like, okay, here I am, 5'11", 6 foot, depending who's asking. And I'm like, let me see like how I match up. Me and him are the exact same weight, exact same height, exact same reach, and he's southpaw, which I haven't been working with southpaw. So I was expecting it to be a challenge, and I think I stood my ground pretty well.
Yeah, you looked good in the clips. Like you were landing some shots on Colby. Like, did you even surprise yourself maybe about like how good you kind of looked, or seeing what other like influencers doing against him?
Well, one thing is, in that sparring match, we didn't have a ring, and I think it would have looked even. I think it would have looked a lot better even with a ring. So the second I started warming up, he was on his back foot, and I have nothing but respect for him. He's a true gladiator. But I think I showed in those 2 rounds that I don't think there's a single influencer out there that's going to be able to handle me. I've had my head down for a year. I've been silent. I've had to like really, I'm coming off 2 losses, 2 robberies, in my opinion, and in many people's opinions. I think I should be holding a cruiserweight belt. I think I should be holding a heavyweight belt, or a light heavyweight belt. Sorry. Um, and I don't know. I felt like I had to really put my head down and go to school the last year, and I'm just ready to come out of the cage and just get serious, man. Like really, for real.
Uh, Obviously, Colby has been known for his wrestling. I don't think his striking gets a lot of respect it deserves. Like, what did you make of his striking? Because people just kind of view him as a wrestler, but his striking and like just his output is kind of hard to deal with.
Here's the thing with the UFC guys, right? Like if we're being real, the UFC guys, they have a different type of sparring, right? Like they just know how to stay loose, and you can learn so much from them. But they're sneaky. They have this ability to stay loose and relax and then pounce. And that came out. I mean, I got a little shiner, for sure. He landed some shots, but the guy has hands, and anyone that takes that away from him is ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, let's just use common sense. He sparred 3 influencers. All 3 of those were in 3 different weight classes on YouTube live, right? He toyed around with them. He made them look like they couldn't land a single shot on him. And I absolutely outpointed him when I worked with him. So, and we only did 2 rounds. And if it would have got more heated, you guys saw what happened when I started warming up a little bit and started moving my head and
Mhm.
coming forward. He was on his back foot. So, you know, in a real fight, I mean, that fight could go either way with me and Kobe. But it's very clear that he has hands and he's shown that on his other sparring with other influencers, right? So he's not a boxer, so we got to remember that too. But we did get some working with some wrestling, and I'm not a wrestler at all. So I'm gonna post that video today, and that'll be fun to watch for people.
Um, I know it's been hard for you to get fights. Like, so got a lot of guys don't want to fight you just because of like what your skill is. After
Yeah.
this video coming out of you showing up with Colby, like, do you think it might turn away some people even more?
You know, the funniest thing is that it's so funny because every influencer out there has the big they flex so hard, right? Like, for example, Taylor Holder, he's been running his mouth this week. I've been nice to the guy. I had no problems with the guy, you know. But then randomly he starts chirping my name, saying that any guy in the gym can come tap me. I'm like, all right, well, that's even more of a reason to go play with Kobe this week because they're friends, you know. And so Kobe's saying that I'm the number one influencer boxer without a question, and he thinks that I have world champion potential. I think that's cool. You know, world champion potential is a little bit of a stretch, but I'll say definitely world champion when it comes to the influencer scene. And I think, yeah, I'm going to scare a lot of people away, but I don't think that any of them should have even a shot at any of those belts. And in that case, if you know, if we can get some serious sanctioning, if Misfits will actually take that seriously and make these champions actually fight someone that's in the scene, like I just need another shot on all these titles, and I'll just go take them and knock them out. I mean, I feel like at this point they're not going to be able to hide from me. Like,
Mhm.
there's no way that Misfits is going to be taken seriously by having these champions in place and not allow me to fight them. You know, so guys like Taylor Holder, he's not even holding a belt. I mean, they're just a joke, really. There's no way. Like, the guy's tweeting my name everywhere. He hasn't tweeted anybody's name for the last 4 months. Now he's tweeting my name, saying he wants to fight. But then, where are you at? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, yeah, yeah, you know, Tristan's shit. Tristan, you know, will get touched up by anybody in the gym. Anybody in the gym. Okay, so Colby Covington's in the gym. So he wasn't touching me up. So who? You know? So I don't know. I'm pissed off, dude. I'm like ready to get back in there and just go take what's mine at this point. And if people want to chirp my name, then sure, at least they're saying it. But I think the guys that are holding the belt right now, I mean, right now I should be holding a cruiserweight belt. There's no question about
Mhm.
that. But you know, I'm ready for Anthony Taylor. I want to fight him. I'll take that 175-pound belt. Uh, Taylor Holder apparently is in second place. He's ranked number 2 in the light heavyweight division. Makes no sense at all. I mean, he shouldn't even be ranked top 10. But he's chirped my name, and then he's trying to say, oh, well, we'll fight in sparring because you're not a big enough draw. The fool literally had 25 people show up to his fight in Nashville. You know, like, he's trying to act, these influencers act like they have these big names and this huge draw, and they get all these views. They get views and they get draw when they're, bro, they get views and draw when they're looking like little boys dancing on each other, kissing each other. You know, they're not getting draw to see, nobody wants to see them fight unless they get knocked out.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm probably scaring them all away, but I don't care. I think that there's a belt in place for a reason, and I'm focused on that right now.
Well, do you even think Taylor would fight you? Because he's got like the music thing going on. Like, I don't really know if he's training all that much. Like, it seems like weird that he keeps calling you up, but then it's like, oh, I only want to
So
spar.
weird. Why is it this guy has a music career and he's in a great position? All of a sudden starts tweeting my name. I never said his name once. He starts tweeting my name. He hasn't spoken anybody's name for almost a year. And the one person whose name he spoke all year last year, he avoided an actual fight with him and sparred him for free. Like, it makes no
Mhm.
sense. You know, he did good against Gibb, though. You know, he fought Gibb, Addison Gibb, and you know, he did good. So maybe he's going to start training again. Maybe he's trying to get some clout going. Maybe he knows that I can actually promote and will probably be the only person that'd be interested in promoting his name. So I don't know. See what happens. I don't know.
What
These
is
guys all talk, dude. They're all full of shit. They're all full of shit, dude. I just exposed them so badly with this shit. You know, none of them can fight, dude. Look at, like, it was embarrassing. What, like, I was like, yo, is Colby Covington that good at boxing? These guys are just toying around with these guys, making them look ridiculous. No, they are ridiculous. They can't box. None of them can box. I've been boxing for a year, taking it seriously for a year.
hmm,
And, you know, Colby thought he would just be playing around another day. Like, I put Kobe on the back foot. Kobe afterwards is like, damn, dude, like, I got to take that seriously. Like, so I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, really. You know,
What is the goal then for when you want to fight, and like who would you like to fight in your return then?
who would I want to fight?
Yeah, and like when would you want to get back in there?
Dude, I will fight anybody they'll put in front of me. I want to get in there as soon as possible. The problem is that Misfits is not having a lot of fights every year. They're supposed to have multiple shows. KSI is not fighting. So what's pushing these shows forward? That's the big
Mm,
question. So I'll fight literally anyone. You know, they've been throwing every name at me, but if they actually have a show and they want to see me in there, like, I'll fight anybody at this point. But obviously, it needs to make sense. It needs to make sense in the sense that we as a team need to be moving forward. But that's why I think the best focus is just on the belt. So right now, 175, that's kind of the weight I'm at right now. The cruiserweight belt is vacant. It's mine, but you know, they don't want to give it to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm indigenous. I don't know. But I don't know what kind of bullshit they're playing. They all have favors, man. They have
mhm.
favorites. Favors and favorites. And I'm not a favorite. So, you know, I make the promotion look bad because I'm exposing all their fighters. Like, it's literally what happened. And I was silent and I was cool about it all. And I could have contested that last fight and gotten it overturned like all of them do. And I didn't. Did the respectful thing. I toned back. So I don't know. I think the only person that is in Misfits that would actually take me seriously and actually fight me is probably Anthony Taylor. And he's
Mhm.
holding a 175-pound belt. And I think that's the route. I think I'll fight whoever they want me to fight, leaning into that fight, get a warm up, and go for that belt. I'll fight him tomorrow if he wanted to. You know, I'm down for anybody.
I know we talked about it, like Misfits bringing in all these pro fighters. Like, yeah, I think in what is it, like 2 weeks? They have like the Rockhold Till, they have Ferguson in there. Like, what do you make of that? Of them bringing in like these actual legit
I
guys into
think,
the scene?
yeah, I think that's awesome for the sport. And I think that Darren Till makes a good promotion. I think he pulls views. I think Rockhold's a good name. I've actually trained with his coach. I've trained with him a lot. His coach is Pedro Neme out of Sacramento, California. So I've seen Rockhold in there. I'll probably go down there and maybe get some work with them before this fight. We'll see what happens. But I mean, Darren Till's a southpaw, so we'll see what happens if they even want that look. But we've been talking, so maybe they want me to come in there. We'll see. They do want me to come in there, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be for Rockhold being that Darren Till's a southpaw. But yeah, I think it's good. I think that the biggest name they have right now is Darren, and yeah, I don't know what happens. I think Darren's going to be in some trouble for sure with Rockhold. So Rockhold's taking it very seriously. So I think it's a legit fight, and I hope they do more fights like that because these influencers can't. They basically have to have circus fights, and then they have to have serious fights.
Mhm.
And if KSI is not going to fight, like, it's just let's pad it all up with a bunch of prelim circus fights that pull views, and then let's have some serious fights. I guess that's what they're trying to do. You know,
Uh, did you try to get on that card in a couple weeks? Because I know you've been trying to get on fighting for a while.
bro. I'll tell you the truth. I was lined up to be on that card. I had a fighter that I was going to fight. I got headbutted in sparring like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
That's what this cut is right there. You can kind of
Yeah.
see it. It's kind of healing up a bit, but I had a starlet scar that was like boom, like a big ass.
Uh,
So I was positioned well for that fight, and unfortunately got cut. So it is what it is. It sounds like there might be a fight coming up in November, and I'll fight anybody. I mean, there's no way Taylor Holder pulls up on that fight. Like when he when he said my name, I'm like, I text my coach. I texted Mams Taylor. I said, there is no way this guy just called my name. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. I mean, and then of course followed up by 10 minutes later another tweet. Oh well, if we're gonna fight, it'll be in the gym. You know, I'm not gonna get off the couch for the money that Tristan's gonna bring. Dude, we have multiple pay-per-view or sorry, not pay-per-view, non-pay-per-view records at the zone. So like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean?
uh, just final thing, like Anthony Taylor fight. Like, I feel like that one is bound to happen. I feel like Anthony will like is kind of like a real fighter where you like will actually want to fight you. Like, is that kind of like you kind of agree with that? Like, that is it's bound to happen eventually. You and Anthony.
100% that fight happens
Yeah.
without a question. As don't see anybody else trying to square up with him for the 175-pound belt. I don't see anybody having a chance. So I think that's my shot. I think that, you know, I try to get this rematch with Ashley Raksu, this Instagram fucking guy. He's running around the whole time in the fight. I couldn't chase him. I mean, I made a mistake. I should have just like grabbed him and fucking started throwing haymakers at him, but I didn't. It is what it is. I won that fight. I should be fighting AT right now because of that fight, but I think everybody understands that AT's run through absolutely everybody in the scene. The last person he hasn't touched is me. So I think me and AT fight. I think I take that belt, and then maybe some of these people will give that belt some respect. But I don't think. I think really the reality is that we have the 175-pound belt, we have the 185-pound belt, and there's a 160 belt. I mean, I'm just gonna start coming for the belts. I'm just gonna take all these fucking belts. That's what I'm gonna do. I can go up and down in weight. Can you hear me okay, or is it chopping out?
Yep. No, I got
I'll
you.
stand up here. Okay, I just seen the service die down. 185-pound belt I'm coming for. The 175-pound belt I'm coming for. There's a 168 or the 160-pound belt I'm totally down to come for. And there's a heavyweight belt. Now, probably won't go into that territory, but cruiserweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, I can go up and down in weight. I'm down for all those belts. And then what are they gonna do? Which Misfits fighter has held 4 or 5 belts? None of them have. So I think that's the goal right now. Let me just take all these fucking belts from these guys and show them who's really, you know, I'm an influencer. I'm an outdoorsman. You know, I actually take this shit seriously. I've been boxing for a year and a half. I'm down to expose them all and just maybe just take all their fucking belts. Yeah, that's the thing to do here. You know?
Yeah. Well, Tristan, I appreciate the time again, as always. Thanks so much for doing this.
Hey, thank you, dude. I appreciate you. And
Yeah.
everybody, just stay tuned because it's going to be a fucking show. I swear to God, the next year is going to be crazy.